you being condescending. Just been warned, alright? Let's move forward amicably.
Okay, well, check this out. First of all, you throwing too many big words at me. Okay, now, because I don't understand them, I'm gonna take them as disrespect. Watch your mouth and help me with the say.
Okay, see, now you found yourself a nigga. You looking for a nigga? Nigga here now, see?
My mind is so spectacular. Open up your aperture. You don't like the light that I be shining, bitch. You Dracula. Southern draw vernacular. Flip you like a spatula. Knew that I was built to put this word up on my scapula. I've been on this road so long, my tires bald. I don't wanna text and no, I don't wanna call. Came in this shit running, bitch. I don't know how to crawl. We ain't never folding, I'm holding the highest card. Look, okay, grew up running post routes. Now I'm on the cash route. Better call the plumber. That boy spitting like a bass spout. All these bad women in this club, fuck is you mad about? Word to all my estheticians, boy, I'm about to lash out. Straight from St. John's to the east side, jigging since the knee high. Watch the way I put on for my state, nigga, yeehaw. Respecting no everything. Crazy how I made it to the league from the bleach eyes. Boy, my shit hair wrong, black, rich, and bare arms. Smoking on that yogi, this shit stronger than some bare arms. Goku, I'm in rare form, you cannot prepare for him. When I swing, it's like a carnival, this shit ain't fair for him. Brought intellect back to this rap shit, you niggas need chapstick. Shit been dry for way too long, and I'm the matchstick. You niggas Nickelodeon me, I'm more like Cap Nick. Cap a nigga, throw him in. Party favors on the table, you can pick and choose. I would be lying if I said that I don't get confused. I'm just a player in the game and I don't pick the rules. Why trouble always seem to find the ones with shit to lose. About to blow like we just lit the fuse. We double dutch into this dough, I get this shit in twos. Push the button, get it started, put that shit in cruise. A little dust up on his heart, I barely get to use. A fool flatters himself, a wise man flatters the fool. Man, I just came to get it started like mechanics with tools. Cause in my hood, if you don't pack a tool, you planning to lose. These young boys deserve Oscars, they be acting a fool. A couple loose screws, but they hammer accurate. Ooh, I know some niggas stuck on drugs and manufacture it too. School of hard knocks, we all got our bachelor's, fool. No cap and gowns, but we all had the master. Party favors on the table, you can pick and choose. I would be lying if I said it, I don't get confused. I'm just a player in the game and I don't pick the rules. Why trouble always seem to find the ones with shit to lose. I'm dumb lit, it's about to be a late night. Fresh wax, shawty, show me what it tastes like. Niggas know me in my city like I'm Wayne Wright. Got them looking up to me and we the same height. Ooh, I got it bad, deep in my bag. Foot on the gas, they cannot last. Swimming with the sharks, bitch, that's a great white. Never stopping, we don't even need a break light. Say she don't smoke, but she always smoke with me, yeah. Back with Finny, yeah, back up in the ovaries, yeah. All my ops, they stay running like they over ease, yeah. Even my masseuses can't just get too close to me, yeah. Shout out to Next, soon as the ink dry, we count out the checks, yeah. I never flex, I bought up a business, you bought up a section. I'm at the top of my class, yeah. Y'all never learned from your lesson. Skywalker gave me the force, yeah. Turn this into an obsession, yeah. I couldn't wait on the team, cooking shit up with just me rolling play, yeah. Things never are what they seem, but we know the facts, yeah. Charging that shit to the game, but now I pull up with a battery pack, yeah. The bigger they are, the harder they fall, and we can just leave it at that. I'm dumb lit, it's about to be a late night. Fresh wax, shawty, show me what it tastes like. Niggas know me in my city like I'm Wayne Wright. Got them looking up to me and we the same height. Ooh, I got it bad, deep in my bag. Foot on the gas, they cannot last. Swimming with the sharks, bitch, that's a great white. Never stopping, we don't even need no brake lights. Big bro, why they call you big bro? Every time we hit the bank, we deposit zip codes. Well connected with the streets like we out in Skid Row.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Pull Up Show. I'm your host, Mr. BJ Matthews, aka B Jizzle. Before we get started, follow us on the YouTube page, the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. Like, share, subscribe. All of our YouTube videos. Hit that like button. Y'all come in here. Hit the share, subscribe. Hit that Cash App, $ BJ Matthews, $ BJ Matthews for all this great content that we drop to you on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis. And as well, you know what I'm saying, hit that like button. Also hit the Cash App. $ Slick Rick 1991 Son, $ Slick Rick 1991 Son. Um, and y'all just sit back and enjoy what y'all got, about to have right now. Shout out to all the people coming in here, man. This is a pre-recorded video. This is not going to be an actual live. We just did a live Saturday, and this morning my boy Rick carried on, took care of business like he always does, man. Salute to my boy Rick, my right hand, my guy. Did a great job, running the show this morning. But I know that we were going to actually be done with Kobe Bryant yesterday. It was Kobe Bryant Mama Day, 8/24. The day before that was his birthday, 8/23. We're getting ready to start a new week, actually, Sunday. So I had thought this was probably going to be the final, video about, Kobe and all that stuff, man. But I had a good time last night, about up until 1 o'clock in the morning, West Coast time, or midnight West Coast time, chatting up with my boy True the King TV. And a few people on his panel, and he spoke about, he had a title saying Kobe Bryant does not belong in the GOAT debate. Now, of course, I had to click in with that just off the fact that, we've been talking about, Kobe Bryant week, this whole week, because I said this is, 2 of his days at, his birthday, and then obviously the 8/24. I just thought it was fitting to, talk about, a legend and an icon in this game. So shout out to my boy True the King. Even though the topic, you have different, people talking about it, man, a lot of different opinions about the debate. It was about a 7-hour live, and I had thought the show was done, but I look on this morning and I saw that True the King was on there for 2 more hours. What it looks like my man Ace 30. And then another guy I got a chance to meet yesterday. Let me see if I could pull his name up real quick. Yeah. Let me go ahead and, pull this dude up. Ace 30 and my man True the King TV spoke about, the Kobe Bryant debate. So I guess 30 wanted to come up when the debate was done, and after we all left, because he decided to come on. True decided to leave him on. I know True that's one of his guys. True is definitely a Boston Celtic fan. You know what I'm saying? They was won the championship this past year, and obviously, respect to True, he don't have Kobe Bryant in his top 10. He hasn't right him outside. I'll give Sturdy credit that he at least has Kobe in his top 10, but. And again, it goes. If y'all don't know what my mindset about it, just go and watch my videos all this week. This Kobe, if he's not in your top 5, okay, fine. I have him top 3 in my list. But when you don't have him in your top 10, and then you got Jordan at number 4, you got Bill Russell at number 1. That's where I wanted to talk to True the King about, before I even got to the whole Kobe's on the GOAT debate, because my gosh, like for a guy who has won 6 championships, went 6-0, averaged 30 points per game his entire career, all defensive, defensive player of the year one time, multiple time all defensive first team, multiple all defensive team, multiple all NBA teams. His resume is top 3 if you look at it, and he's the single-handedly looked as, regarded as the best player, whether it's the analysts, the fans, or the players. They have this man as number 1, all around. So I don't understand why, True had, Jordan at number 4. That was my first thing, but obviously he wanted to talk about Kobe, so we went, strictly to Kobe. And I just want to let y'all hear what, Sturdy and True had to say, because this is something that's really, really kind of like, I want to, make sure to put this out here. But I'm gonna let y'all hear about 2 minutes of what True had to say, and my man Sturdy. So here we go.
Popping up on my feeds and on different social medias about Kobe belongs in the GOAT debate. And it's like, why y'all trying to force it?
Oh, cause we know why, bro. Cause Kobe inspired a lot of people, bro. Like that's
Which
why.
is fine. It's fine, but that's all. I mean, we can leave it at that. That's fine. But like when we mention other people do the same exact thing, it gets downplayed. You know what I'm saying?
And before I continue, I'm gonna be stopping it through the video. Again, y'all, this is basically I'm just giving it up to y'all, man. I'm about to, pick this shit apart. True, for you to let this nigga Sturdy come in here and just stir up the whole pot. This is what I'm talking about that these analysts have done to y'all minds and y'all brains. I expect this coming from millennials and guys who are in their young 20s, but we got dudes who actually looks like True's in his, I want to say late 20s or early 30s, 1 to 2. I could be wrong, you know what I'm saying? But I just don't understand niggas that was actually there. Even if you just didn't like Kobe or you were against his team, I don't see how you can sit here and go that far and just say that the man is not even in the top 10 and then plug him behind guys who were never even in the debate while he was playing. All this stuff people are talking when he's passed away and gone, they weren't talking this shit when he was alive and here. You know what I mean? Like when I look at, True talking about that, everything gets downplayed when it's everybody else. That's the complete opposite. As I mentioned before, most of these niggas in the top 10 who get the credit they don't deserve or get too much credit, people don't go as far as take them out the top 10. I've never seen Magic Johnson not in nobody's top 10. I ain't seen Larry Bird in nobody's top 10. I haven't seen Shaq in nobody's top 10. I haven't seen Tim Duncan not nobody's top 10. And I got Kobe over all them dudes. But we got this whole discussion. This nigga is not even a top 10 player. Those dudes are the one. He's the one getting disrespected. It's not those guys that keep getting pushed and getting. Them niggas get plenty of love and get plenty of their credit. They don't get pushed out of top 10 discussions. Right? So I'm gonna let y'all continue, but I will be stopping the video as it goes on.
It's fine. It's just like when it comes to the criteria for Kobe Bryant, it's specifically made for Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
And it's like
I'm gonna just keep it brief, you know what I'm saying? Because you seem a little tight, and guys in the back seem a little passionate. Usual. I swear, guys, I tried to come up here last 10 minutes, but I think True just didn't see my thing. But nevertheless, though, it's just simple, bro. No, Kobe Bryant does not deserve being in the GOAT conversation. He is incredible. He is legendary. Arguably the greatest Laker of all time. Arguably the greatest player in 2000s. Yada yada yada. Right? But it's just common sense, right? I like to tell people just how can you be greatest of all time when one, you're not the greatest in your position. That is unquestionable, right? And you're not hands down the greatest of your era. People go back and forth between who's the greatest of his time between him and Tim Duncan. So because those simplistic and common sense reasons, no, he's not in the GOAT conversation. And for anybody that's watching this on Rewind, no, is not biased towards Kobe. That's implicative to any other player. That's why it's called common sense. How can you be greater than somebody if you're not even the greatest in your position? How can you be greatest if you're not even consensus greatest of your time? So basic qualifications, no, he will not be.
So that's sturdy. And I wanted to make sure he got, his main points. Like I said, as y'all come here, hit that like button. So Sturdy's point is he got him in the top 10, but he has him absolutely not in the GOAT debate. And his two main reasons, because he's not the greatest at his position. Obviously that's Mike. And then you got him saying like you arguably the best player in your decade, but you weren't over quote unquote the best player in your decade. So bro, I'm telling you, these niggas put their foot in their own mouth, bro. I'm telling you, they put their foot in their own mouth. Do you understand I can make the same case for Larry Bird and Magic Johnson? There's debate who was the best player in their decade. There's no surefire that Larry Bird or Magic Johnson's over Larry Bird. I've heard both. Now, on my list, I got Magic over Larry. I got Magic at 5 and Larry at 7. But that decade, you got people who say Larry Bird was better than Magic. And I'm pretty sure True's ass would have Larry Bird over Magic Johnson. But Sturdy's whole point is because Kobe and Duncan, which I'm gonna get into in a minute, saying that Duncan somehow had this imaginary 2000 was the greatest player of his decade with Kobe. I've already expounded that, and every time last night when we were going in on True, and the dude at the bottom, that dumbass nigga, he kept on backing up in the corner, and True kept saving him. Every time we kept making the point that Kobe Bryant was beating Duncan in head-to-head matchups, that because they wanted to bring up, oh, he had Shaq. Well, he beat him without Shaq, right? Because they want to elevate Duncan and say he had one of the best teams, but then when his team gets beat, then it's like, oh, well, you can't use that. Well, you can't use it when it benefits him, and we can't use it when it's against him. See, that's called nitpicking. As you go up, you have to nitpick. Just because Kobe wins out in that head-to-head matchup, because I guarantee if it was the other way around, you would have used that, don't mean it doesn't count. That's number one. Number two, I just mentioned Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. That was a back-and-forth duo. And then you look at what Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain had. Now, winning, you would put Bill Russell, but there's plenty of people put Wilt as the GOAT. There's old people of that old generation say Wilt as the GOAT. Bill Russell out of his mouth. I like how True used this clip that Wilt said that Bill was the best, but he didn't use the clip in response saying Bill said that Wilt was the best player he's ever seen. But you got them niggas in your top 5. But because the nigga that plays the same position as the best undeniable player of all time, he gets scratched out. I'm telling you, bro, these dudes put their foot in their own mouth. Magic can play with Kareem all 5 of his championships, who's an undeniably top 3 player and won a championship before he got with Magic, and he can be in the top 5. Kobe has 3 championships with Shaq and goes on a second 3-peat without Shaq, wins more without Shaq, wins with less than Shaq, because Shaq had D Wade and Kobe had a Pau Gasol who was not top 75 and just recently got in the Hall of Fame, not just simply off of his NBA career, but because of his international career. So the man did less, he did more with less, and he did it at a younger age. And not to mention, Shaq didn't win until Kobe Bryant became not even his full self, but in the 2000, a portion of himself. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. 2001, 2002, Kobe Bryant was the best player on the Lakers. I mean, Shaq even said it out of his own mouth. Since we're playing clips and True's trying to use clips as, he's trying to use it as evidence. And then when I brought up yesterday on his show, he said, well, they got to go into detail, BJ. The constant deflecting is mind-boggling to me. So it's not enough for his own teammate that he sees every day to say it. He got to explain it in details in ways that a person, that's another thing that I got frustrated last night on the show. That dude on the bottom, I don't even remember his name. Shout out to my man Mac Diff for cooking him for damn near an hour. He backpedaled that dude in the corner so far. He kept deflecting, and we went from it was about production, then it was about stats. Well, you can't use that stat because it doesn't benefit this player, but you can use this stat because it that's why we kept hearing last night. You know what I'm saying? Ring around the rosy. And then he'll act like he didn't hear what Mac Def said, and he don't know what he meant. But all it was that Mac Def was making his point. You just don't like what he was trying to say. And that's all it was. You heard the hell what he said and how he wanted to, word it. But because you didn't like the answer, you ain't explained. You ain't make an accurate argument. Nah, bitch, you heard the accurate argument. You just didn't like it because it doesn't fit your narrative. But I'll let y'all continue. What my man True and the King and Sturdy had to say.
Not be the greatest of all time, but in my opinion, he is top 10. He is incredible. He's one of the most versatile and most elite scorers we've ever seen. But at the end of the day, I'm familiar with BJ's content. I'm familiar with a bunch of niggas' content in regards to like how they defend Kobe. And what y'all don't want to admit is just say Kobe's our guy. I'm biased, so I'm going to create a criteria to elevate him. And another thing too,
Ain't
bro.
nothing wrong with that.
Another thing too, man. And this is a fact. Stop pretending niggas didn't elevate this dude after his unfortunate passing.
So this was the biggest caveat, and I actually put a comment underneath True's video yesterday. As y'all come here and hit that like button. I actually put a comment under my man True's video yesterday. And this ain't a shot at True. I think True's cool. I think he's a cool dude. I mean, I think his claim having Kobe 9 in his top 10 is just absolutely trash. And I think it has a little bit underlining because of, him beating his Celtics in 2010. As I've mentioned before, Kobe Bryant was not the most liked player. And that's what really factors in the voting. See, they're trying to turn around, and Sturdy's a slick one. He's trying to turn. He's a professional speaker, but he can make a good lawyer. So now all of a sudden, the man needs sympathy to be ranked higher than what he truly. So basically, you're saying he doesn't deserve to be ranked, and trying to take credit away from his career, which is what a lot of these, dumbasses, in the media, like Shannon Not So Sharp, Nick Wrong, Kendrick Country Ass Perkins, Colin Long Neck Cowherd, all these dudes have been trying to devalue his career, split it up, give it to somebody else, i.e. Shaq, and basically make an omelet. But when people who actually were there and actually can break all this shit down, shout out to my man who is Hendo, shout out to my man KB Film Room, shout out to my man Bookie Allen, shout out to my man What Up Cuz 23. When guys like us are able to debunk this nonsense and bring it and piece it apart, then they run into the corner and they just keep on deflecting. So Sturdy says that no one had Kobe Bryant and he was elevated because of his death. That's obviously a lie. As I mentioned on True's show yesterday, as Kobe was playing and after he won, actually before his 5th title, to be quite honest with you, this was the person they were actually defending, saying it was between him and this other person. So y'all can see right here, this is a article by Sports Illustrated, and y'all see the Kobe's run 13 games, 551 points. This is when he was going crazy, I think, in 2000 and what is this? 2003, right? And this was after he got his 3-peat. This was on his way. This is before them losing in the finals or losing in the semifinals to the Spurs in 2003, which is the only time the Spurs beat the Lakers was in 2003 in the 2000s. That's the only time they beat them, when they had all that turmoil between Shaq and Kobe, all that stuff that was going on. And then they presumed to beat their ass, I believe, in 2004, if I'm not mistaken. And then Kobe beat them again in 2008. Just pure domination. Like I said, I'm going to get into Tim Duncan and the rest of the rankings. But underneath this Kobe run, 13 games and 551 points, you got Kobe Bryant better than Michael. And I told True yesterday, there was a serious discussion, not one after the first repeat, after the second back-to-back going to 3 finals in a row. There was a discussion where they were making a claim: is this man going to surpass Michael Jordan? At that point, right? So you fast forward, he played 6 more seasons after 2010 in that discussion. So he obviously goes down from being behind Mike, which is, in my opinion, top 5. If you're going to say Mike's the GOAT and you're going to put this guy in the conversations, Just like the GOAT conversations, how is this man not in the GOAT? How he's not in the top 5? But he somehow just drops all the way down to number 8, to number 10, to number 12. All these ridiculous, rankings, not because of basketball, because of personal, and because they're trying to elevate other guys. But all I'm trying to make the point is, this was a real discussion. So I find it very, very weird when people say, well, let's not act like they can get elevated. He never had to get elevated. You guys had to bring his career down to put other people in his spot because they weren't as good. That's why Tim Duncan, that's why, guys like Shaq, Hakeem is one of my favorite centers, if not the most skilled center. He wasn't in those talks because he didn't have enough championships, unfortunately. But you put him in there, you put Larry Bird in there, you put all these dudes in there, and to really devalue him. Right? So Sturdy once again was wrong about that, but I see what he's trying to do. He's trying to make people, and like I say, he's a good he's a good persuader. He'll pat you on the back while stabbing you in the chest. But I'll let you continue.
Like, stop pretending emotions didn't help elevate his legacy. It did, bro. Let's stop the cap. It's similar. I always relate it to rappers. Like, rappers are greater when they die, unfortunately. And that's only because when they die, they get more respect, they get more emotional connection because people realize how much they missed from that person. And it's similar to Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, especially when he retired, he was on a movement. He was touching a lot of athletes, especially his contributions to the women's basketball. So all those things, I get the emotional connection, but fuck your feelings, bro. Like, feelings never trump facts. And the fact is, when he retired in 2016, majority of the world had him between 8 and 12. So what the fuck changed between 2016 and 2020?
And right, yeah, and like they try Ishmael, you there, Ishmael?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I was right. I just can't. MacDeath was wrong, or he's lying. I just can't, or whoever that was, BJ. I just counted the stats. Tim Duncan has better production than Kobe Bryant in the regular season and playoffs. I told you. So it's like I don't know what. I told you.
That's why it's like. That's why it's like certain things is like because like I'm in a video I will do.
They don't want to believe
it. Yeah. Boy. Oh, Cook session. Sturdy. What the fuck happened? From 8 to 12. And they had him ranked that in 2016. And what happened? I'm gonna tell you what happened. Well, I don't address Ishmael, man, since you said my name. So you count up the numbers, huh? You count up the production, the season, the playoffs, huh? Now I'm using your argument. So yeah, hold on one second. So he beats them out in playoffs in the playoffs and regular season, huh, Ishmael? All right. Watch this. See, this is why I tell y'all put y'all foot in your own mouth. The more y'all talk, the more I get more content. Now, Ishmael's another dude that backpedals. It hurts your soul that MacDeath cooked you, and I followed up with the you know what I'm saying, the finishing touches. You had my man Mingle Jester calling niggas out as well. So he sat up here and said, we asked him the question, what defines your rankings? How do you determine who's where's where? Well, he said production, which is statistics. Now, as MacDeath told this dude, Kobe beats out Tim Duncan in all the 5 categories. If you look at stats, 3 to 5, Kobe has points, assists, and steals over Tim Duncan. In the regular season, this is what he has averaged. His averages to Tim Duncan compared: 25 points to Tim Duncan's 19, rebounds 5 to 2, goes to Tim Duncan. Assist goes to Kobe 4.7 to 3.0. Steals per game 1.4 to 0.7 Kobe Bryant. And then blocks 0.5 to 2.2 goes to Tim Duncan. So 3 of those categories out of those 5 categories go to Kobe Bryant. Oh, well, you know, we got to add this, BJ. You got to add that. I didn't say that, even though the nigga said, because this is the problem. People think Kobe Bryant doesn't have stats. He doesn't have statistics because that's what people say all the time. Like, oh, he ain't average this and he didn't average that. He wasn't an all-around player. That's the argument people want to use, who don't want to put this man where he needs to be put. But he's actually top 5 all time in production. Not top 10, not top 15, not top 20. If you add total stats, he beats out Tim Duncan in all the total stats. 3 out of 5 of the stats. In the season and in the postseason. As I told y'all before, and I said it again, the consistency when people talk about Tim Duncan only applies to the regular season more than the postseason. The man never went back to back. He never had a three-peat. He couldn't beat the Lakers, 3 out of 4 times where the Kobe was, with Shaq or without Shaq. He had a drought from 07 to 2000 and I think 12. People want to talk so much about Kobe's drought from 04 to 07 for 3 seasons, for 3 years. They don't want to talk about Tim Duncan's drought from 08 to 2012 for 4 years. Or 2011 for 4 years. Where they were losing in the first round as the 8th seed to the Memphis Grizzlies. Right, an 8th seed. And Tim Duncan, y'all say that was a all-time great team, and they were still losing with Tim Duncan in his prime. Right? But as far as the total stats go, as y'all can see right here, he beats them out 3 out of 5 of the categories. He beats them out in field goal percentage shooting and free throw percentage shooting, or 3-point percentage shooting and free throw percentage shooting. He has better numbers for his best playoffs over Tim Duncan's numbers in his best playoffs. As I've said before, Kobe Bryant can get to a level that Tim Duncan unfortunately just can't get to and take over a game. Doesn't mean Tim Duncan ain't great, but his peak isn't higher than Kobe's, and his longevity and what he was able to do isn't better than Kobe's. So Ishmael, next time you speak shit, raise your damn hand. But I digress from that. I'm gonna answer Sturdy's question as y'all come here. Hit that like button. Telling you, bro, I be undressing these dudes. I be undressing these dudes when they be talking that nonsense. You cannot be speaking bullshit to me. I was there. I played. I'm from California. I'm from out here. You cannot be speaking that type of bullshit and act like you can get away with it. So let me pull up the video. So Sturdy, as I said, Sturdy, good lawyer. Very, very well spoken. Sturdy the type of dude I would like to have a drink with, or go to a bar with, or what I'm saying, shoot the shit with. Like he seemed like he's a type of guy that you can be cool with off the when it pertains to his real life. But when it comes to this basketball, this nigga be capping his ass off. So he says what happened from 2008 to 2012, which is basically implying what I said in the comment, that a lot of these guys on these television shows have manipulated y'all to believing that certain things matter over other things, to elevate certain guys over other guys. He said that we're trying to make a criteria to fit Kobe, when all we've been doing, who actually was actually watching Kobe, is reacting to the people who all of a sudden puts them in positions that are just makes you just be like scratching your head. So we're not starting any type of fires. This is what the masses and the media has been pushing for a number of years. And it's all personal. It's all personal. So what happens, Sturdy, is Kobe Bryant at one point was considered the best one. He was considered the best player in the league in 2010. after he won his title. Yes, he was better than LeBron James, a nigga that never won a championship, yet a nigga that was losing to the same teams Kobe was defeating in the early 2000s or the late 2000s. He was beating the same teams that LeBron was losing to. The Spurs, the mighty Spurs in 2007, that team that people say LeBron had no help, them scores were all close games and going into the fourth quarter. Go check. They got swept that series. Sound like to me somebody couldn't close. So y'all see the scores right here. All 4 games. All games close in the fourth quarter. 83 to 82, 92 to 103, 75 to 72, 76 to 85. All games. The Cavaliers were in. And quiet is kept. They're one of the top 5 teams defensively that season. See, he didn't have no help. He dropped a bunch of bums. So how did they have 50 plus wins that season? If I'm not mistaken, I think Cleveland was number 1 that year. If they weren't the number 1 seed, they were top 3. I can't remember, but they were one of the top defensive teams, and that team actually fit LeBron very well, a young LeBron. And they were in every single game against the Spurs. Sound like to me somebody couldn't finish. He averaged 22 points per game, shot 35% from the field, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Right? 35%. Oh, he was in his 4th season. Shit. I saw Kobe Bryant in his 4th season carry in the finals against the Pacers. What did he average? If I'm not mistaken, what did Kobe average in that finals? He averaged 15.6 in the finals. After he sprained his ankle in game 1, he didn't play in game 2, and came back in game 4. I think he had 28 points. Right? He had 28 points in that fourth quarter, or in that 4th game. So the first 2 games he was pretty much playing from behind, but he came when he actually, after coming back from injury in game 4, he not only had 28 points, but he won the game for them. And that was his 4th season. So I don't want to hear nothing about LeBron. That was his 4th season, because this is the same time around the time you guys tried to put LeBron against Kobe and said he was on his level, which he damn sure wasn't. Right? Kobe against that same Spurs team the next year averages 29 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 53% field goal shooting, and beat the Spurs without Shaquille O'Neal. Same team. Beat them the year after. Let's go the year after that. Against the not against the Celtics, because they lost. Both those teams lost. But I want to highlight that same series against the Celtics. I think that was 2010. I'm tripping. The Magic in 2009. LeBron lost to that team. They had 38 points per game. That was probably a series where definitely he was scoring his output, his stats, which is impressive. But they lost to a team that they were, favored over, the Orlando Magic. The next round, the Lakers beat them in 5 games. See, the statistics and production stats go in LeBron's favor, but they also go against them when they don't win. And not only did they not win, they lost in 6 games against a team that never got even back to the finals again. And Dwight Howard being their best player. That was a talented Magic team, but the Cavs were favored to win. That was LeBron James's chance to actually get to the finals to face Kobe. And then you look at the Celtics in 2010. LeBron James loses to that team. And not only does he lose to that team, he lost to the Celtics, who had Rajon Rondo leading that series in points with 18 points per game. So it wasn't. So if you're going to get on and say that LeBron James never had this, he didn't have that, he had enough help, and he was playing against a team like Boston, who Big Four really did not play all that in that series. The next series against the Celtics, though, against the Lakers, they had to actually pull all their strings out. All those guys had to play well. and the Lakers beat them in 7 games. So the point I'm making is all this stuff factors in when you talk about, you know, why this man Kobe Bryant is not, you know, where he was at in the top the GOAT debate. So like I said, bro, there's players, the masses always had Kobe in their top 5. They've always had Kobe in their top 5, or at least not even top 5, top 2. And I'm talking about star creme de la creme players. Now, what done happen is people are putting more stock into ESPN rankings and Sports Illustrated and Bleacher Report over the guys who actually are on the court playing. Even fans, if they don't like Kobe Bryant for the most part, over 85, 90% of them are going to put him in the top 10. But I think that's even disrespect. I think he deserved to be top 5. When you factor everything in, the championships, the resume, the statistics, the individual player that they are, the competition they faced, the players that they did and did not have on their teams, all that stuff factors in when you talk about, at least on my scale, you know, put as the GOAT or the GOAT debate. But yeah, I want y'all to hear some of the players that actually put this man where he needs to deservedly.
Anybody that don't have Mike, Bron, and Kobe in their top 5, I really have a hard time listening to them.
Right. Hold up, Mike, Bron, Kobe, Shaq.
You can. I think 4 or 5 is very interchangeable. Them 3, I think those 3 is cemented. Like nobody should ever.
My top 5. I'll tell you my top 5. All right. But out of my top 5, like the 70s and 60s, I kind of leave out like the Chamberlains, the Elgin Baylor.
Yeah. You hear that? That's the same shit I said. And you know why you leave them out? Because the times were too different to rank them dudes. I mean, and like I said, that's just, for me, that's just common sense. I mean, if you look at, I just want to pull something. I don't want to keep stopping the video, but Darius Miles just said something that makes complete sense. And for True to have this man as the number 1 player, that just shows you, again, that's just, you know, his Boston Celtic, you know, love for him. Like that, we already know what that is. But let's just have a minute, like a real conversation for a minute. He said Elgin Baylor. Now, Elgin Baylor averaged 27 points per game and 13 rebounds and 4 assists. Now, I've been watching basketball for the last 20 years. Okay. I am not going to sit up here and disrespect the pioneers of who actually paid the way for the players. But I'm sorry, people have got to stop acting like the same guidelines and the same rules and the same standards were applied at this time. People got to stop acting like that in the 60s and the 70s, there was a wide range of differences from what they have in the modern day era. I rank guys on my top 10 from 1980. You got to play from 1980 to now. That's the modern day era. All this 1950s, 1960s shit, even the 70s, that is where you lose me. Elgin Baylor played from 1958 to 1972. I think those type of players need to be in their own stratosphere. The Elgin Baylors, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbars, the Wilt Chambers and the Bill Russells. You know what I'm saying? Having 100 points in a game, motherfucker. Like that's like saying you watching this shit now with the All-Star game. There's no resistance. So how much can you really measure that statistic? Oh, you can't control who you don't play. That's not what I said. I said to try to measure them up next to each other as if it's the same thing and say that belongs in my top 10 because he had 50 rebounds. You got to ask yourself, damn, what was going on and who was he? What was going on? I'm sorry. And they had Elgin Baylor in front of Kobe Bryant because of his, I guess, statistics. Right? But Darius Miles made sense. You leave certain guys out the discussion and you rank them in their own pantheon. That's how you're supposed to do it. That's common sense. That's what I like to hear. But I'm gonna let y'all continue hearing.
Yeah,
me
Jerry
too.
West, them like
Me too,
Sis
yeah.
Lesson is just all respect, but
Yeah.
kind of them 80s on up for real. For me, that's really
Exactly. 80s and on up. Y'all hear that? Modern day era.
kind of my history here.
So wait, let's
Who you
hear your
got?
top five.
My top five is Michael Jordan, of course, is number one to me. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is number two. Kobe Bryant is number three. Shaq is number four. I just seeing these, they dominating ability. And LeBron, probably by the end of his career, is my number five. You know what I'm saying?
My top five is MJ, Kobe, Easy Kobe.
Easy, number two ever.
Exactly.
I don't even want to say
Number two ever. That's KD. KD's gonna retire one of the top 15 players of all time. So you got one of the top 15 greatest players of all time. You got Jason Tatum, who just won a championship this past year. Speaking upon, not only is he top two, he's 1A, 1B. He don't even like to say top two. He says 1A and 1B. Like I said, I'm just highlighting all the people that keep saying this man was not ever in this GOAT debate. And even to this day, and it didn't take him passing away for him to get elevated, Mr. Sturdy.
Then I go Kareem.
Remember last week that I said that Kobe Bryant was one of the 10 greatest NBA players ever?
Right. You say a lot of things.
I want to change that.
To what?
He's one of the 5 greatest ever.
Wow.
Michael's first, Oscar Roberts second. This is just my opinion.
Okay.
Bill Russell's third.
Okay.
Wilt Chamberlain 4, and Kobe Bryant's 5.
Oh, he's better than Larry Bird.
Yes.
And Magic Johnson.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Best player ever. Oh, probably.
Charles Barkley said it for you. And that's when Kobe Bryant, I think that was in 2000 and it had to be 2007, 2008. It was definitely after his 3P. But this is a guy that played in the 90s and had high, and part of the 80s, and had high respect for Magic and Larry Bird. See, Charles is the type of person, he has no dog in a race. But he spoke like a lot of these players speak. Magic and Larry Bird, and those are two other players. I think they get graded on a curve as well. They get credit, and I've kind of depicted why each player gets ranked where they're ranked. And I think a lot of it has to do with them saving the NBA, and a lot of the people who were around that time saw that was a very, very historic, iconic moment. Kenny Smith seemed like he was very pressed that he had Kobe Bryant over Magic and Larry. But again, it's like you saw what you were watching on the screen. You were actually seeing what he was accomplishing and who he's being compared to. I mean, people had to, swallow their pride, and they had to be like, damn, this guy is, he is that good. But again, there was a discussion with this man in the GOAT debate. Let me continue.
Best player ever. Oh, probably. Man, this is gonna go viral if I say somebody. Obviously you got MJ, LeBron, Kobe. I put Shaq out there.
Mike, Shaq, Kobe, okay, LeBron, Brown.
The fifth one is always hard.
It could be. I mean, it could be a lot of dudes.
Just who you feeling today? Because
and something else I want to do before I end this real quick. You notice how the people who rank Kobe in the top 5, and this is why I say the disrespect. He's the one that needs the defending, not these other niggas. You understand? Every person, they keep saying he's in that top 4, top 5 discussion. They sit back and they at least give LeBron. They put him in that top 5 with Kobe, not outside the top 10, like Mr. True tried to do. And that's all I ask. Just be fair. I don't see how anybody can make a clear case that this man does not deserve to be in your top 10. And that's why I push back. But you guys skip my point. The players and his contemporaries and his companions who played up against him every night, they already knew, even if they before they play, even in the 70s, in the 80s, 90s, like, and it goes on to this day, you're going to have Kobe Bryant in your top 5 or top 10. Period. Now, what Ishmael's dumbass don't realize is that he cooked himself speaking on production for Kobe and Tim Duncan, because they play two different positions. So quite naturally, the guard's going to have more points, assists, and steals than the big man who's going to have more rebounds and blocks. So he really cooked himself. But there's this notion that Kobe doesn't have stats. But that just goes to show you, much of these guys are stat geeks, but they're so slow, they don't understand. They don't even know how to use the right stats. If you want to use a stat to try to manage Kobe, don't use totals, because he played quote unquote 20 seasons. Even though I think reality played 17 because he was, hurt, and he, missed his first 2 years because, he's unfairly benched because his coach didn't believe in playing 17, 18-year-old kids, which made him start from behind. But don't use totals to try to lower Kobe, because you're going to lose every time. But back to Sturdy's point. If you look at this whole, when did he get moved up? Again, yes, there was a time where they had Kobe Bryant ranked between 8 and 12, which is why I look at this shit it's just disgusting. They're trying to lower this man's. They were trying to do it while he was, alive, and they've given him breadcrumbs now that he's not here. They're trying to give, just like they tried to give us breadcrumbs last night. And as y'all know, I want the whole plate. But the same people that try to tear him down, Kobe Bryant already put it out that he don't really care what they think. ESPN has been had issues with Kobe for years, going back since the Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, the fire relationship. Kobe didn't like ESPN, and they made a list. They had this man at number 40. Number 40 on the top 100 list in the 2013-2014 NBA season. And it was all because he tore his Achilles the year before. But do you know what he was doing before he tore his Achilles? Do you know what Kobe Bryant was, his average, what he was actually averaging, right? Before he, got hurt against the Utah Jazz, or I think it was Utah or Golden State, 1-2. He was leading the league in scoring right before he tore his Achilles. Y'all see this right here? He was averaging 29 points per game. And had he not got hurt that year, he probably would have finished that year scoring, which would have added another scoring title to his resume. See, I've told y'all before, a lot of context needs to be put when you talk about Kobe Bryant. I'm not saying it's anybody's fault, but stop putting a brush against it and saying, well, because he didn't do this at this time with this restraint, he somehow gets pushed out of this conversation. No. That's not what we're doing. Before he tore his Achilles, he was still in his prime. That Achilles tear put a lot of his plans to rest. But he was leading the league in scoring before he tore his Achilles. Right? But He didn't care for ESPN, and they knew it. And that's why they ranked him number 40. And that's why they ranked him 25 the same year he was leading the league in scoring. Leading the whole league in scoring, and you rank number 25 on your on the ESPN list. It sounds personal to me. It sounds very personal to me. But then again, I mean, what else do you expect with a bunch of clueless stat geeks who, most likely were just mad because Kobe Bryant called them what they, deserve to be called, which is a bunch of idiots. Truth hurts. Truth hurts, lies kill. But I just want to show y'all the blasphemy, how they rank this guy. Y'all come here and make sure y'all smash that like button. But they have this man at number 8. They have this man at number 12. All of a sudden you got all these players just jumping him. You had Shaq. People want to make the argument for Shaq, as I've already told y'all before. This guy underachieved in his career, unfortunately. Not saying Shaq wasn't a great big man as far as dominance. To claim that Shaq three-peat with Kobe, he went 3-peat with Kobe Bryant. And after that, he went to one championship with Dwayne Wade, and that was it. And that was Dwayne Wade, prime Dwayne Wade. And Shaq was the clear second option. But you give Shaq credit for being a second banana, a worse second banana, than you give Kobe Bryant credit for being a second banana. Kobe was a better second banana than Shaquille O'Neal than what Shaq was to Dwayne Wade. And then you want to follow that up and give Pau Gasol credit more for being a better second banana than what Kobe was to Shaq as a second banana. Pau Gasol never went to any All-Star games other than one when he was with Memphis. They kept getting put out in the first round. He was not a top 3 power forward, but when he got traded to the Lakers, it was Dirk Nowitzki, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett. So he wasn't top at his position. But he all of a sudden, a guy give you 19 points per game was the lifesaver. Now, don't get it twisted. He fit around Kobe Bryant's game style, but he wasn't playing and building no damn super team like somebody I know to win and still won less. They had this man. I want to show y'all something real quick before I end this. Sports Illustrated had this man ranked at number 12. Again, Sturdy's words, not mine. He had this man 8 through 12. They're talking about these bullshit ass rankings. Anybody with any common sense and actually played the game and watched the game knows there's not 11 better players in NBA history better than Kobe Bryant. That's first. So, Sturdy, if you're using this as your backup, that goes to show why we have to push back as hard as we do. You have to. Because it's flat out nonsense and it's quite frankly disgusting. And they're so damn stupid. You use the same article. You use the picture with the caption of the GOAT, and you asking the question, is he better than him? So how in the world does he drop to number 12? How? And if you can drop and players can drop after their careers are over, then why does LeBron keep saying that he's one of the top 2 greatest players of all time? Oh, that's right. Stats. Gotcha. Okay. Well, guys like LeBron, Wilt, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Luka Doncic all contribute stats. And how much have they won with those stats? So we're valuing stats over winning. Again, this just happened with LeBron. This really just happened with LeBron. We're valuing stats over winning. And these guys have stats. Kobe has stats. Jordan has stats. Magic has stats. Bird has like they have stats. Tim Duncan has stats. But that does not overvalue the main line while we're here, and that's winning championships. And that's what LeBron fans don't want to talk about because it doesn't fit their criteria. And if you look at this right here, it says Mamba will retire as the NBA's third all-time leading scorer, and he'll wonder why he's not in the top 10 of all greats. He certainly has a case, but tell me who to take out, and I'll listen. This is another dumbass statement that a lot of these knuckleheads want to put out. If he's in the top 10, who do you take out? I take out, I'll tell you right now, Elgin Baylor, all respect to you, sir, but you played too early for my liking. You're going to be taken out. Tim Duncan, Kobe used to destroy you all through the 2000s, the same decade that Sturdy said that you actually worked with Kobe Bryant. I saw it flat out. They used to demolish y'all. And the only time that you had a chance against the Lakers and Kobe Bryant and that team was when Kobe and Shaq were going through their problems and issues. So you're out. Jerry West. See, this is another person. All respect, but it's another thing. You guys use the logo as a reason why to put him there. Because his championships do not circle around him being a top 10 player or being over Kobe Bryant. I'm sorry. His individual game, championships, accolades, statistics you can say are better than Kobe's as far as scoring, this, that, and the other. But as far as a overall resume, as far as his game, as far as a player, all respect to the logo, RIP. But nah, I'll take you out. Bill Russell, same thing with Elgin Baylor. Mr. Russell, you came in too early in the NBA. It's just hard for me to put guys like this in my top 10. And if Sturdy's going to start saying we need to, put feelings over facts over feelings, we got to stop putting guys in that you have no idea who they were until somebody told you, your grandfather or your uncle, somebody told you who they were, because you weren't sitting up there watching Bill Russell film. All you're doing is looking at stats and saying 11 rings, but don't even look at the context. And because Mr. Russell, RIP to him, is an elder, you guys feel sympathetic to put them in the top 10. I don't do that. I put them in their own category. Bill Russell, Will Chamberlain, Elgin Baylor, Oscar Robertson, they are going into their own category. They're not part of the modern day era. So I can move him out the way. Larry Bird. Now, True just put Larry Bird over Kobe Bryant. I think Larry Bird is underrated. I got him number 7, but I see people don't even have him in his in the top, 9 or top 8. Larry Bird's one of the top 10 greatest players of all time, hands down. The problem is he was great, but he was great for a short period of time, for 13 seasons. He did not have a long enough career to surpass somebody like Kobe Bryant in the accolades and in the statistics. I wouldn't say the statistics, the accolades, the championships, the individual player, the dominance, the tenure, all the categories that I put, and the statistics. Kobe Bryant has a better case. I can remove Larry Bird out my top 10 and just I could put Kobe Bryant over Larry Bird and I'll just be just fine. Right? Oscar Robertson. Now, again, stats over winning. A guy that won 1 championship and quote unquote the triple double king, people want to put him over Kobe Bryant. A lot of you niggas didn't even watch Oscar Robertson. Oscar Robertson was what Russell Westbrook is today. High production in stats, not as erratic as Russell Westbrook. Don't get it twisted. More smarter basketball player, but he's known to be Mr. Triple Double. So if that's your only thing that you got to put him in damn near top 5 conversation, I'm like, what the hell are we looking at? LeBron James was already being ranked as a top 5 player, I think, even before before he even won his championships or won that championship against Golden State. I don't need to go into LeBron James as much as I've already done. His GOAT debate is all media driven. That it's him and Jordan, and they try to push Kobe out to make room for him. It's LeBron James's GOAT debate is media driven. That's what it's always been. Magic Johnson, great player, best point guard of all time. But he's a person, another one people grade with a curve. No, I wouldn't even say grade with a curve because I think he earned everything he got. I think his resume, the thing that's really impressive about him, how much he accomplished in such a short period of time. Kind of like Larry Bird, they both accomplished so much in, a short period of time, but Magic even accomplished even more. And he did something that nobody else has done, win a championship as a rookie outside of Bill Russell and being the Finals MVP. In the modern day era, though, but the problem I have with when people rank Magic is he gets to have a top 2 to top 3 player and doesn't get pushed out. Kobe doesn't get that. He doesn't get that. He doesn't get that. Magic does. Shout out to Magic Johnson for keeping it real, though, saying that he belongs in the GOAT debate. Another top player who believes Kobe Bryant deserves to be there. True to King sat up there and said, well, that's because they're all friends. Well, sir, that's 95% of the league. So because they're telling you the truth or how they truly feel, though their opinions don't get factored in. We gotta add on stuff. Well, that's it. They're friends and this, that, and the other. Well, they're players that actually understand what greatness really looks like. Right? That's greatness. Going to a three-peat and winning is greatness. Going to a three-peat and winning 2 out of 3 is greatness. Being a all NBA, leading NBA history in all NBA and defensive teams combined is greatness. Beating more 50-win teams than any other top player is greatness. You don't get the opportunity to remove certain things that benefit Kobe just because you want to push a narrative. Wilt Chamberlain, another one. Stats over winning. Stats over winning. Great talent. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is these are the last 2 people right here, Kareem and Michael Jordan, that they got right. I have no issue with Michael being number 1 and Kareem being number 2. Because when everything's in totality, when you put everything in, the resume, the championships, the level of play, the tenure, the dominance, the stats, the being in the modern day era, everything all in one, Michael and Kareem are the only 2 players, in my personal opinion, who deserve to be over that table over Kobe Bryant. That's it. That's it. That's it. No one else deserves, in my personal opinion, who should be over that table. You got runner-ups with LeBron, Magic, Tim Duncan. That's another table. Then you got Larry Bird, Akeem, and Shaq. That's another table. But I wanted to put this one out, bro, because Sturdy is the type of person, and I hope Sturdy gets a chance to come on the panel again. If you want to have Kobe outside your top 10 or top 5, that's okay, cool. But this disrespect of him being outside the top 10, and you got Jordan at number 4, you got Bill Russell at number, like all this shit, man, is just. I won't even say Bill Russell number 1 because I understand you're a Celtic fan, true, but the other stuff, bro, it's like, come on, man. But I hope y'all enjoyed it, man. I'm gonna tag everybody that I spoke about today. Hope that y'all respond, and we'll be back on again. And yeah, pull up a seat, pull up a chair, put a live page.